Welcome to Trading Lounge in the US stocks for Tuesday, September the 28th. I'm taking more of a bullish stance on the markets, and let's go and have a look. So with Amazon here, we've got a very clear impulse wave here. So that must mean that we're going to get another impulse wave here. Okay, so this market may sort of fluff around a little bit first from this point, but it should push up from that point. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, we should be moving into a third wave at minimum, because we've already moved up to the 61.8% of the last move down through here. As I've mentioned before, you know, I've been a little bit uncertain about the best way to count this, and that's still the case as well, but that shouldn't bother us in terms of making money. You know, we traded this up here long, didn't we? We got out and just really waiting for another move. Now let's go into the tick chart. Yeah, so there'll be a couple of stocks that we're going to start looking at in a bullish light, but obviously we need to prove that as well. So from this low here, we can see 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third, fourth and fifth, and I just can't ignore that. And then we've got a nice ABC here. It is true that I don't have a nice impulse wave here, and we were talking about that yesterday. So we may end up getting, this may be an A and a B and a C wave coming back into this space before sort of moving up, but whatever happens, we need to be long above that top. As simple as that. Okay, so even though that this is not counted as a bullish count here, we've looked at it in that way. We can look at it in different ways. We can look at it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 as well to the bullish side. Yeah, I mean, if the market just continues to drop here, we haven't lost anything, and so on. But yeah, like I mentioned, we've got a nice 5 waves here and a 3 waves here, so we should be looking to go long above the 61.8%. So yeah, I can't ignore that. So that's what we're going to be doing. And for the next stock here, Google, we also talked about, because with Google and a lot of the other stocks, we've been talking about having a wave 3 up here and a wave 4. But I'm just not seeing that, you know, and also too, as I've been mentioning a fair bit, that on the indices, this wave 3 here is still shorter than wave 1, so I'm not that happy about that either. So I'm just dropping everything really down to another degree or so to the downside. So with Google here on the daily chart, we're looking at it like this, and yeah, I mean, from this low here, I think we looked at this yesterday, didn't we? From here to here, you know, we're right on the 38.2, or close enough anyway. Now, wave 4s can get complicated, so yeah, look, sure, this may, you know, may do something like this before going up, because we're in lots of 3s here, not a nice 5, 3, 5 structure. So yeah, it could get a bit complicated, but let's just go in and have a little look on the tick chart for this. This is 100 ticks. I think we're also looking at this on the 10 tick as well. So in a nutshell, we're going to be moving this here. We'll be doing this with indices as well. Maybe not today, but I'll slowly start pulling things across a little bit. And we've had this wave 4 here, so I'll probably just pull these out of the way over here for the time being, and we'll put that wave 4 over there. This will need to be reconstructed here slightly. So yeah, I'll just see how that goes. We may end up having like this is the A wave here and a B wave sitting here. Just move these across. In fact, we don't need those ones. And we won't need those for a long time. So that's all good. We'll need those. That's all good. So yeah, we could get something like this here. But as you can see, we're right on the 60 yada 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 thing. So you know, we could actually go long above that, and the trade would be, you know, would be up to the 3,000 at that point, because we've got a nice little classic trading levels pattern here as well. So I'll just bring that back on top there, so we'll just get it sitting in there nicely. So yeah, I mean, that's possible there, right? But this stage, we'll just call it in as there because it's reached the 38.2. We've got that happening here. We'll need to expand these up here further, obviously. So these will go over here. Don't need that. That can go up there. That can go over there. We'll need a couple of these guys over here, I guess. Need that, want that, want that. Anyway, you get the idea. So we need to rearrange things a little bit, but that's okay-ish. Might as well put these to good use. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. Obviously that's not wave one yet. We don't have 5 waves there just yet. We were looking at it on 10 ticks, I think, that little move there, just starting to sort of work it a little bit. It's yeah, it still needs more work, but yeah, I mean, it could be corrective. It's not like it's really impulsing as such, and there's a few iffy bits with this as well. I mean, that counts okay for 5 there, I suppose. This doesn't really count as 5. Is this an A and a B and a C? Should wave 4 go over there? And a few of those things. But we've got a nice impulse wave here, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. So we should just build a little bit. Obviously, we're running into this supply zone over here. We're already at the 61.8%, but yeah, all of that there. So yeah, I'll have to rearrange these, just my working thing here. But yeah, so anyway, that's we're going to be looking for bullish trades basically in the markets. Apple. So I've also changed this as well because we had wave 3 sitting here. Not quite sort of happy with that. We've got 3 waves down here. We've pulled back to the wave 4s of 1 lesser degree and the 38.2% retracement levels. So we can also look to go long here now as well, I think. Sure, it may get a bit more complicated because it's a wave 4 and that's the risk. But less is more. So just have smaller position sizes, especially when you're sort of getting your first trades in. Okay, so let's just tick chart. So yeah, we're looking at it as this wave 4, but I just need to do some other work. We could, because the other ones are on this one, so just I need to do a bit more work on that, but that's okay. We've got 3 waves coming down here, and we've been counting this up. I was counting it up in green, but I've taken it down a level, and yeah, we can get 5 waves from here to off the low here. Now I thought that we may be able to have this as sort of an ABC here, but I don't think that's the case. This little move here is kind of interesting because, well, first of all, this move down here appears to be impulsive. So that means we've got a corrective, well, a rally, a move, let's say, back to the 50-60% mark here. And yeah, so there is a possibility that it can come down here first before moving up off that point. So what I'm thinking here is that there's a couple of ways we can look at this here, actually. It's a bit hard to see this one here, but we could look at it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to here, with the little ABC pulling back in that regard. So putting that there and seeing it come back into this space, so that's possible first. So just be mindful of that. But the main takeaway here is that if this top is taken out, just to get half a position here, and you probably could get another half a position on 146 as support, but I always use group 2, so group 2 will be 146.65 number, so be 146.50. So you want a classic trading levels pattern sitting on that, and then we can look at moving up from that point. But yeah, this move down through here makes it a bit dangerous, so that's why we're just going half a position here first. Okay, so square, I haven't changed square, but I'm just going to make that a bit smaller. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting the feeling that this is bullish, you know. We've had it counted as wave 4 here and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 3. I think that's still over here, and I think that you know, this 5-wave structure up here, as I've mentioned a few times, that we can have it as wave 1 with an A and a B and a C here for wave 2, and then going up from that point. Now, there is a good case that this little move up here is corrective, so we need to be careful, but the main point here is that we're going to go long above that high, because that's the point that I would be wrong, and we need to be long at that point, because that's above the 61 point. In fact, that's the 61.8% of the whole move down. So we're already above the 61.8%, but we had to allow this 5-wave structure in this move here to play out, and it has played out. And we do have a little short position in there as well. So let's just a half position. So let's just have a look at that. So we've got, this is looking at the short side of it. We can look at it as wave C here as well, but we've also looked at it as wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C wave here for that. And what we looked at yesterday or the day before, whatever, we looked at being short here, so you'd be short just here. We're going to put the stop really close just here for that, and we're also going to go long above this one here, but we're also going to go long above this stop here. So if you're short 100, then just make the stop, buy on stop 200, just flip that order straight away. So that's where we are with that. So we're just putting the trader hat on for that rather than the analyst hat. Well, the analyst hat tells us we need to be long above this one here, but there is a good case for an A and a B and a C, so we'll just hold our short position, half a short position here for the time being, and let's just see how this plays out. Nothing more to see there. Facebook, this is a weekly chart. We don't normally look at this, but this is how I'm looking at it. So, yeah, a bit like the S&P and the NASI really. So up for 1 and back for 2. So I'm looking at 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 here, and then going up for 5 for the 3rd wave. And then the 4th, and then the 5th. So that puts us with a wave 4 in this situation on the daily chart, and going up for this. So it's a change in plan basically. But that's just the nature of human beings changing their mind. But of course we do that based off what we can see, and you know, it's an ongoing puzzle that needs, you know, daily solutions and management. You know, it's really about, everything is about managing risk, isn't it? You know, that's what it's all about. So that looks a bit sort of reddish down here too, doesn't it? So yeah, let's look at this and find our way in. Tick chart. Just get my bearings here a bit. So as I mentioned, we're looking at that as we need to change that to wave 3. Pop that back on there. We're looking at this as an A wave, a B wave, and 5 wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2. Nice strong 3rd wave, 4th wave, 5th wave for C of 4. Yes, and wave 4 may get more complicated. Okay, so it may not pan out. Okay, so just be aware of that. Things can get a bit more complicated. But in a nutshell, if things are looking good, we'll be looking for this a trend moving to the upside. So yeah, that's sort of where we are at the moment. It's always scary down at the bottom, you know, and sometimes you just don't have things panning out the way that you'd want them to. So we'll just keep the stop under here for the time being. It's not too far away, shouldn't be over trading, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, well, let's just see how we go, shall we? I mean, I've only just put that there, so it's not a biggie. So what you can do now that that market's closed, is we'll just put that there. And if it drops back down, 1, 2, 1, 2, there's 5 waves in that one. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. So we'll be pretty close to a top here. It looks a bit weird, but probably still building to the upside. So yeah, I mean, that can pull. It could pull back here before going up, but I'll just leave it. So anyway, we're looking to go long there for that, and we'll keep an eye on that. We'll look once we get onto, obviously this 365 is part of 65 is part of group 2 here, but once we get support here, or we've got a clear wave 1 and 2 in play, then we'll look after that wave 2, we'll look to add to the position. So we'll either buy on the pullback, or we'll be buying within group 2 and adding to that position. And Tesla, so from the top to the bottom, the 78.6 is probably a nice target, which brings us in around the 823 mark here. Okay, so that's where we probably be looking there for a top. We were looking for a move up into the 800. So we've got that there. I can still see that there's a little bit more to go. As I've always mentioned, that if we get a classic trading levels pattern sitting on the 800, then I'll turn bullish. But otherwise, yeah. I mean, the thing is that it was difficult. I mean, I'll go back and check. You know, I'll go back and check this. I'll do it on the weekend, but you know, it's pretty clear that there was 5 waves here. Clear that there's this here, and this one here. It didn't really give us 5 waves. It gave us 3 waves in this first bit here, and then we've got the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 5 here. But I'll go back over and check that just to make sure that wave C is not sitting there like that, you know. But yeah, let's just see how that goes. But yeah, we just need a classic trading levels pattern there. It's just simple as that on the long side. So we either need be something like that. So the arrival, we're going to be going a little bit higher, but it doesn't matter. So we're either going to get this pattern. We'll see if we get a reaction here first. That's the first thing, because if we don't get a reaction, then we'll be looking at this pattern here where we don't get a reaction. It goes above and then folds back. But in one way or another, we still need this entry point over here for that. It doesn't matter which pattern that we get at that point. So we'll go in and have a look at this. So that's sitting a bit high. Tick chart. We'll just pick it up from that wave 4. Bring in a bit more data. So, okay, we've got green wave 4 here. We've got 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, an A and a B and a C for the fourth, and we're going up for the fifth, which is sort of extending out a little bit, but in the fifth wave, I guess. And I probably got this counted wrong too, by the way, but I've got 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4 here, and then the extension seems to be in the fifth wave, but obviously that's probably the third wave at that point. So I've probably got all this counted wrong, but yeah, I just built from the bottom up, and we'll probably need to adjust it now. But as far as the crow flies, we should be seeing, maybe we're not, maybe that tops in right on there. Anyway, if I was long, I would be exiting here, and then I'll be waiting for a setup on this level. The other side to this is up to, we can start talking about group 1 now as well. So that's just simply 10, 20 and 30. And what I normally find is that the market will find, close enough, will basically sort of start to vibrate in this range between group 1 and group 2, kind of sticks to this number in one way or another. But yeah, the normal thing is to have a reaction from here and then have the first high above the level and then some type of correction here and then we'll look to go long in that way. That's basically what we'll be doing, or short. We'll see what gets delivered here, but we obviously need this trend here to complete first, so we'll just keep an eye on it now. You certainly don't want to go long on large numbers like this. It's just, you can get away with it now and again, but at the end of the day, you'll come out, being hammered for sure. So you just need it. Markets are just trends and corrections of different degrees, and they're going to occur at large numbers, most of the time. And if you're a little bit, understand that, and you're a bit patient, like new people would buy at this number, that's the problem, where professionals would be, getting out, so to speak. Alrighty, enough waffling. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.